Because in either game, life or football, the margin for error is so small. I mean, one half a step too late or too early, and you don't quite make it. One half second too slow, too fast, you don't quite catch it. The inches we need are everywhere around us. They're in every break of the game, every minute, every second.
Still having a little bit of trouble with the audio, but it'll come out eventually. So, all right, this is we're trying some new equipment, and if it sounds better, then that's an improvement. If it doesn't sound as good, hey, it's better. I was watching the news this morning, and the singer from, I guess, Audio Slave, I just said his name. What was his name again?
Oh, Chris
Cornell.
Chris Cornell, yeah.
Yeah, he when famous people die, I always because as well, you probably don't know this. I'm here with James again.
Yeah.
As you get older, you think, if this person died, okay, he's healthier, he's more successful, had more avenues to good medicine and good food. So if he's dying, well, that means I'm next, So I hate to say it, but when I hear it's like suicide or something, I'm almost relieved, because if it was as healthy as a clam, he jogged every morning and swam 15 laps, before he went to yoga, and he died of a heart attack. I'm like, I'm screwed with my 4 cups of coffee and everything else. So, I guess I'm relieved to say he committed suicide, but
it's still unfortunate, though. It's still unfortunate.
Yeah, I guess. But and obviously for the family, there's probably more to it because it's like, I think I was reading that book, Happiness is a Serious Problem.
Okay, yeah.
And they always say the problem right now is everybody is smiling for pictures, and everybody puts out that they're happier than they are.
Right. Oh, yeah, big time.
Compared to your life, you're like, well, my life sucks. And so in the celebrity world, it's probably even more so when everybody's like, oh, yeah, I'm on vacation, I'm on a private jet, everything's great. But then, if you really knew them, well, they say the only happy people are the people you don't know. Mm-hmm. And so he's probably comparing himself to people that seem super happy, and makes himself even feel more depressed. In my opinion. But if you're surrounded by people that are kind of just average, and that's why I always say, good couples need other good couples when, let's say, you're going out and stuff, because they say if you're out to dinner and let's say you had a fight, you're driving to the restaurant, and you and your girlfriend are fighting, and you get there,
right,
or your wife, and your wife's like, not talking to you, and you're sitting across from a couple, and if they're like, oh yeah, on the way here, boy, we had an argument, and you're like, yeah, so did we, and you feel like you're normal, and you don't feel that, how come things aren't working out like I want them to? You realize everybody else is doing the same thing.
Right.
But it's, but now we tend to all put on our happy face and everything else, so it just makes it harder, I think, to relate. And then you feel like you're 2 steps behind. So I think a lot of people, when you find out they killed themselves, that's as big a part of it as anything. Is they're like, how come I didn't achieve this, or how come I'm not?
Well, I think a lot of that is the blame on social media now, because nowadays you can show everyone what you're doing, show everyone that, hey, I'm over here in some fancy restaurant, look at my nice food, I'm so happy. I think that's another reason why we notice people always posting happy posts, even though they may not be happy, but it's just.
I would love to post, like, if I got a stomach ache, but you can't post that. Say,
Yeah,
look, world, I'm
exactly.
having a bad day.
Yeah, exactly. No one posts like I'm having a bad. I mean, some
Yeah.
people do, but that's like just like they're naturally negative if anything.
Well, if you're changing your tire and you're on the side of the road, you
Yeah.
don't feel like doing a selfie, But
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
you're as miserable as all get out, You're trying to hold the camera up, but you can't find your lug nuts. It just rolled in the sand,
Yeah,
People are
I know,
honking
right?
at you, calling you a loser, and and that's the thing. Ironically, that's what life is made up, is all those mishaps and stuff. So,
Right.
but yeah, I think we all look at, like, every time I look at one of my friends, he's in a different country, and his kids are always smiling, running around, and I'm thinking, I just did laps with my kids yelling at them for not cleaning their room, but luckily, we're smart enough to know that, okay, we're getting the highlights. Just like I put my stuff out there, it's always when the room's clean, or and you never show the messy room, or if you're arguing all the way to let's say Knott's Berry Farm, nobody's doing selfies. But if a song comes on and we're all being joking around singing, that's what gets posted.
Right.
So,
Exactly.
but yeah, and then I was just talking to somebody yesterday, and I was telling them about, I spoke at a funeral some years back, as my cousin, he committed suicide, and I go, we're all wired to feel guilty, and what I said at the funeral was, he needed to be his own pillar. He was he had issues, and just kind of it's a snowball effect. I always say, if you're doing well, doing the right things, you'll keep on going north, and if your needle's pointed south, you'll get the momentum going the wrong way. Kind
right.
of like probably some of these people.
Yeah.
They're in Tent City next to us as we drive by.
Exactly.
It's a weird thing. Right off the 5 freeway by Anaheim Stadium, they have the city. It started off with tents, and every time I go by, I comment on it like it's the first time I've seen it. So James is probably sick of hearing me talk about it.
Like, oh, there it goes again.
Yeah, actually, we should do a show. Just walk through there and
I know.
talk to people.
Yeah, we should actually, and
Yeah,
do some interviews.
Yeah,
That'd
put
be
a
cool.
Kevlar vest on and everything.
Yeah.
But
Get our tetanus shots and.
But I think 90% of it, I always talk about it, is just bad habits for these people. They start out by taking too much of something, whether it's alcohol or drugs, and then you lose your job, and then it just goes downhill, and then eventually, I think it affects your psyche, and then you get a lot of the diseases that they have. And I think the problem is the politicians lead with the diseases. Oh, this person
Big time.
has this, that, and the other, and there's schizophrenia, but it's not like it's a normal person. Typically, a normal person working a 9 to 5 gets schizophrenia and then becomes homeless.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I think a family will bail somebody out if everything's on the up and up.
Right.
But typically,
Typically, yeah. I mean, there's the few here and there, but.
Well, I say, like, let's say you're working your ass off, you get fired. You tell me that there wouldn't be people like, hey, dude, come sleep on my couch until you get back on your feet. As long as you never abused drugs.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't lose your job, did you?
Who, me?
Yeah.
No, I never
Okay,
got fired.
before I offered the couch.
No,
So, but yeah, so we, typically, it's a bunch of bad decisions going one way or the other. You fast forward it, and you're either going to be, you put stuff in the fridge, it'll be cold. Put it in the oven, it'll get hot. It may take a while, but eventually it'll get there. But what I was saying about my cousin is, I go, he needed to be his own pillar. Here we're all like, oh, if I would have done this and showed up and done that, it would have helped. But ultimately, if you're not your own source of
strength,
strength and motivation and what
all
have
that
you,
good stuff.
yeah, and I'm sure that in this guy's life, his wife's probably like, oh, I should have been there, should have done this, but there's probably so much more going on. But yeah, it just you always hear that that, oh, this person died, because there's a lot of people dying, and secretly it is unfortunate, but I'm like, okay, they had something. You find out they had terminal cancer, and while that's talk about an innocent being stricken with something, it's still nice to know that, all right, well, at least right now I don't have cancer, so I'm in the clear.
Yeah.
And let me
You pausing it?
see if I could. I'm gonna see if I can go to a.
Oh, and just hear it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, can you hear on this, huh?
Hey guys, we love sugar. Sugar tastes good. Problem is, it's causing obesity, it's linked to type 2 diabetes, so we switch over to artificial sweeteners, which at a certain level become bitter, and now it's linked to early dementia. In fact, if you're drinking diet sodas on a regular basis, you're 10 times more likely, studies say, in getting early dementia. So we have a sugar, it's called Next Sugar. It tastes great. It's as sweet as sugar. It's 100% on the sweetness index. Yes, there is an index for that. And guess what? It's half the calories, guys. You can bake with it, try it, get going, do your thing.
Oh, you know what? I had the mic off. Is your headset squeezing your head?
Oh, my headset. No, it's good.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be interesting when we play this back if it works or not, because we are driving, so we have the noise canceling headphones. So I'll be curious to see if it cancels it with all the fidgeting that you're doing over there, grabbing your bag.
Oh yeah.
No, that's life though.
Yeah.
That would be cool though when let's say we're in the studio, you actually have notes in front of you, and you could research your topic and
and have
entertaining. Because my thing is, like, you look at traffic right now, and people are so, you're stuck in traffic, like, and probably, I bet you people coming from like Riverside and stuff, it's probably an hour and a half trip. Easy.
Yeah, big time. Oh yeah,
easy,
and
then an hour and a half back. So it's like you can listen to music all day long, but when you're by yourself, it is nice to listen to. Find out the current events, and in this case, if let's say there's a topic that that kind of even if it's not you're not stricken by it, you always know somebody that is going through it, or eventually later on when you hear somebody. And I always say, like, you may not be the best source, but it's a source, and sometimes you get different inputs. And now you're well-rounded, and it's better than any one genius on any one topic.
Yeah.
Because different people need to hear things in different ways.
Right.
So, and with 300 million people in the world, people there's a lot of different ways that people need to be taught. So,
yeah.
I always say anytime you could, if you have a lifetime of listening, and let's face it, we're all around smart people, and we hear smart people. So if you could just hit that recorder in your brain and then spit it out later when the need arises, you can be a source of good and help.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I think you living in Washington I think that's a suicide capital of.
It used to be. Used to be back in, I think it was like the 90s though. That's kind of old statistics now, nowadays it's Vegas. Vegas is the number one.
So when you moved from Washington, the suicide rate went down?
No, it was kind of like when I was born. Actually, I think it was around the 90s. If I remember.
I think they're like, James is out of here finally. We can all get back. Yeah, we can all be happy now.
Yeah, I know, right? Throwing parties, but I think nowadays. I mean, I don't know what they rank nowadays. I mean. It's actually, if anything, it's probably better because of like that boom they're having up there. The population, oh my gosh, has grown so much since I've moved. Actually, I heard. So there's actually a lot of people moving there. I don't know if they're committing suicide over there still. But.
Well, nobody even goes outside anyway in Seattle anymore because they're all on their phones.
It's a bunch of tech.
Yeah, you could be in Gold Coast, Florida, or Seattle, and I guess everybody's going to be pasty white now. Because. Yeah, everybody. Well, I guess you could be outside and on your phone, but that's another thing too. Is are people out going and doing things in, let's say, Florida, where the weather's nice. Okay, let's go outside. It's a nice day, and all you do is you're getting all ready just to look at your phone in a different scene. You know?
Yeah, right. Yeah,
taking selfies.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is true. Like when we go to the beach, if you look, you see everybody's on their phone.
Yep.
Who's not doing a selfie or this, that, and the other. And I get that way too sometimes. Is when every time you see an animal, it used to be you would watch the